How's it going, boys? My name's Gary, and welcome back to day 3 of Christmas Commentary Week. Hope you're all still doing well. As for me, I'm doing great. So now I'm on a 3-day streak. This is kind of I'm setting a world record right now. I never thought this was something that was possible. And I bet you thought the same too, but hey, we've all been proven wrong now, right? Anyways, today I want to pull a full 180 and go from a holly jolly Christmas topic to something a little more depressing. That being bottling up, as it's something that I'm very familiar with, and I feel like I can share some good advice with it. So I think the easiest way for me to start this is to go back to when I started experiencing my mental issues. Really around age 12 is when I started getting my first dose of stuff like depression and things. There was nothing in particular that caused it from what I remember. It kind of just started happening to me. Being age 12 and having this happen wasn't exactly the best of times because I really didn't have any idea how to deal with it. I didn't have the proper brain complex to deal with the shit storm that this was back then, and it caused me to end up resorting to bottling up my emotions, since it was really the only thing I knew how to do back then. I didn't ask for help because I was too scared to share it for some reason. Point is, that's when I started doing it. It was the only way I felt like I could really deal with it, and it stayed like that for a very long time, about 5 years to be exact. And during those 5 years, turns out a lot of unfortunate slash tragic things happened that more or less kind of just fueled the habit. Things such as loss. There's also a little thing called a global pandemic that kind of hit the world pretty hard. And high school bullshit. I started high school, which was it was really helpful for this habit. One of the things I didn't realize during these 5 years is how damaging and unhealthy these habits actually were. I experienced so many problems during this time frame, and yet never did one sensible thing to fix it, since I always just defaulted to bottling up my emotions. This is really the only thing I could do. And it ended up leading to, well, how do I say this? Bad symptoms? Maybe habits? I don't fucking know. I'm just gonna categorize them as habits. But the one thing that I do know is that they were negative things that I started doing. Some of which are long lasting and still affecting me to this day. The leading cause of my own personal self-doubt and hatred for myself is one of the things that stemmed from this. I ended up self-deprecating myself to the point where I genuinely believed that I was terrible at everything and not capable of achieving anything. Another one would be social interaction. Before, I usually didn't really have any issues interacting with others, but I ended up gaining the bad habit of being way too self-conscious, and I would forcibly stop myself from talking to people out of fear of annoying and hurting others. And it's something I still do to this day. But personally, I think the most damaging habit that stemmed from bottling up my emotions for so long that still affects me is my distorted vision of love. One of the things I did when I started becoming fucked in the head was create a shield to try and protect myself from certain things. One of those things, in fact, was love. For 5 years, I essentially went loveless. I gained little to no satisfaction from gifts and compliments. Hugs were completely meaningless, and overall, there was really just nothing. The only thing I really ever allowed myself to have was spending quality time with a few certain people. Anything else you can think of just straight up wasn't there. And this is something that still affects me to this day. Love became such a foreign thing to me to the point where love is such a foreign thing to me to the point where it just confuses me and stresses me out. I've made strides to try and better it, and while I've made good progress, I still think there is some irreversible damage. The point I'm trying to make here is whenever you reach a point where you need help, go get it. Don't just bottle up your problems and store them away for later like I did. If you end up doing it long enough and too much, you'll just end up causing long-lasting or in some cases permanent damage to yourself. What I'm saying, don't be afraid to go talk to someone about it, because it's keeping it to yourself is not going to help you. Not to mention, we live in a day and age where mental health is really taken seriously nowadays, especially with the rising mental health crisis that's really going on across the world. Anyways, that's all for today's video. Hope you all enjoyed an actual serious, kind of dark and depressing topic. Before I head out, I'd like to remind you all of the special one-of-a-kind Christmas inbox I plan on doing on the final day of this week streak of uploads. I was hoping to answer a ludicrous amount of questions, which would require you people to send in a ludicrous amount of questions to me. So, if you're interested and want to see your question in a future video, then shoot one over to thatkillergary@gmail.com. As long as it's festive, I will try my best to include it in this ludicrous episode of Inbox. I don't know why I put that there. I put ludicrous way too many times in the script. And yeah, that's about it. See you guys. Oh, as always, have a great day. Cause why not? Bad days suck, right? Have a good one instead. Just, logically, just have a good one, man. Anyway, see you guys.